Hello there, welcome to my 30-minute Fitness Pilates signature workout. My name's Vicky Davis and I teach Fitness Pilates and HIIT, and I really wanted to bring this session to you today. Basically, I've been in the fitness industry for 26 years now and started out as a personal trainer. Really lively, really high energy, running around everywhere, beasting everybody. And then one day I realised, hang on Vicky, are you going to be able to keep this up, this type of career, at this age actually? And the answer definitely was, or would have been, no. So I looked for something else. And someone suggested Pilates and I thought, oh no, it's too boring, too quiet, I'm not going to be able to get into that, it's not my personality. But I did get into it. I took the course and I took more courses, and it is the best form of exercise I could have wished for falling into. I think actually it's arguably the best form of exercise out there. It gives you everything you need, and that's why I wanted to be here today and show you this class. So I've said the class is for everybody. I would prefer if people with any injuries didn't take up the class today. If you're anti-postnatal, I will give you those teaching options because I always do that. I pride myself on that with my classes because there's always a workaround. And if you're an absolute beginner, please listen out for my weak back and beginner options. So yeah, being a presenter, it is lovely to be here. I can come to your workplaces, I can deliver presentations online, face-to-face, large groups, small groups, whatever the case. But I really hope you enjoy this session and feel good after. Wonderful, so you need your mat, you need to be bare feet, and I know it's going to be a real treat. If you've never done Pilates before, you're going to enjoy it, I promise. That's a bit of a statement, isn't it, to promise, but I really think you will. Fabulous, so let's start the clock now. Half an hour of your time to have a full body workout, including flexibility, strength, mobility, and as my type of Pilates suggests, a little bit of fitness. Wonderful, so let's start with a nice standing warm-up with feet hip width apart, being from your bones here, not your actual width here. And then lengthen up. So imagine you're being pulled up by a piece of string. Many people come to a Pilates class like this. In this day and age, we're all on phones, tablets, slouching around. So we are going to lengthen up. Imagine you're being pulled up. Tuck your tailbone under by tilting the pelvis a few times forward and back. And we'll find our neutral position by not tilting forward, not tilting back, but tucking under to find the middle of the two extremes. Then take a breath, expanding your ribs laterally. And as you exhale, brace your core in and back towards your spine, drawing all the muscles in and back, right down here, and then pinch the pelvic floor. So feeling that pelvic floor muscle elevate up towards your lower tummy. Hold that position for the next 30 minutes with all of my reminders. Spread your toes and start with a gentle sway, where we're going to just clear our minds and get ready for the exercises ahead. You're swaying a little bit too far forward. Feel the muscles brace to prevent you falling over. Wonderful. And side to side, lengthening up. Something that's necessary to say that is, if you feel any pain in your lower back with any of the exercises I show you, you must stop the exercise or wait for me to give the weaker back or beginner option and try that. But if that still aggravates you, let's go round in a circle, then don't do it. And I like to add on necks and hips and any joints really. If you feel any pain in any joints with exercise, you shouldn't be doing it today. Lovely. Brace in, pinch your pelvic floor, and round we go. Many people will still have stiff arms if you're not used to this. Let them go. I bet you're thinking, oh gosh, yeah. So let them relax. Wonderful. Now go wide and draw a figure of 8. Bend your knees, swing your hips, So we need the wide stance here, and at this point you can really ask yourself how your body's feeling today. So it doesn't mean just beginners might be achy back. Us advanced regular exercisers might have overdone it and be feeling it in our backs today. So sometimes we all have to take it down a notch. Excellent, back to the neutral position with the tailbone tucked under for a very gentle sway. Side to side, just a gentle twist. Now, anti-postnatal, you can twist at this point. It's one of the things you shouldn't do, but because your legs are moving as well, you're not isolating the twist to your torso. So you can twist on the legs very gently. Fabulous. We are going to shoulder roll, so we're going to mobilise each part of our body. And if you are an advanced participant, why not try this on one foot? So don't all do that, because the main focus right now is on your shoulders. But if you want, you can try it on one foot, really creating an extra balance challenge and working your core more. That has definitely become a signature for me. I bring that into all of my classes because people have been coming for so long. Let's add more to it. Multitasking. So I'm going forward now with the shoulders up to the ears and forward, and my core is still braced in and I'm pinching that pelvic floor. Fabulous. Go to the other foot if you are on one, and take your arms up to the ceiling. Now, if you're a beginner, do not let your back arch. Really brace your core on the way up so that your back does not move. Fabulous. Swapping legs for a V and a W. Bringing the elbows back behind you on your W. Great. And a big stretch round where we'll put ourselves back into neutral. Shoulders back and down. Tuck the tailbone under. Brace the core and start with a gentle stretch in the neck. Make sure those shoulders are relaxed. And ear to shoulder. Lovely. Okay, brilliant. Let's get you to mobilise your hips. Now, you might be a bit too wobbly. Hold onto a piece of furniture or wall if you are. And also coming off these thicker mats, if you've got a thick mat, is helpful. I'm going to draw some circles with my hips, not letting the other hip move. So imagine you've got lasers on your hip bones, facing forward. Don't let this other hip bone move. So we could have bar arms here, or you could, especially if you've got a weaker neck, keep the shoulders and arms down. Bracing the core in as you circle the knee round so your other hip doesn't move. Let's go the other side. Okay, brace your core to start. Find that neutral position. I'm not going to talk about breathing today in case we've got any beginners. You'll hear me mention it because I won't be able to help it, but the main focus is on bracing the core in with your exercise. Lovely. And let's swing the foot forward and back. If you're wobbly, touch the toe down behind. And if you've got a weaker back, leg can go out to the side instead. Because as we kick back, I don't want you arching again. So none of this, because that'll put pressure on the lower back. So brace the core in as you kick back. Fabulous. Other side. Kicking out to the side, beginners or weaker backs, or behind you, stronger backs. Lovely. Now we're going to add some fitness in. So I love to do a load of squats. Love, love, love. So I'm going to go wide and I'm going to stick my buttocks out behind you. Look in the mirror view. Notice I'm leaning forward, but with my chest lifted, and shoulders go back and down to finish. Brace the core in on the way up. And if you want, you exhale on the way up. Great. You decide how deep you want to go, and if your knees don't like it, you're probably doing the squat wrong. So stick your buttocks out behind you and lean forward. Lengthen up in between each one. Because we're doing Pilates, we are lengthening all the time. Lovely. And I'm going to do some squats in different positions. So let's turn the toes out now and knees go towards toes. If with any of these variations your knees don't like it, just go back to parallel position. Come on, let's get the heart rate lifting a little bit. Shoulders back and down to finish. Open the chest. Feeling good already. So we're warming up the hips and legs now. Can you get deeper? I'm going to turn the toes in. Working different parts of my muscles. Just for a few. Shoulders back and down. Great, now I'm going to do a curtsy. So standing over to the side, take a step and curtsy. Keeping the chest lifted. And the eyes looking forward. Bigger step if you can. So we're using, again, different muscles as we change the positions of these squats. Big step. Feeling good? A little bit of a heart rate going up. Great. Let's do one with the feet together. More of a balance challenge here. So please widen them if you need to. Stick your buttocks out behind you. And let's raise up, down. Raise up without arching the back. So as we go up, brace your core in, down. Lovely, we're exhaling on the way up. Stretch. And from here, this will lead me on to a nice stretch. So holding up, let's get back in neutral though. Feet hip width, tuck your tailbone under. Pinch the pelvic floor and stretch up to the ceiling. Push one side up, then the other. Fabulous. I'm not leaning right over, just a little bit with the core braced in. And arms back behind. I'm turning because the classic thing here would be to arch your back. And as a personal trainer for all those years, before I learned Pilates, about 14 years ago, I was never taught about the core, we just weren't. So I'm tucking the tailbone under and lifting the arms. So my back is always stretched, safe. Lovely, round your back, head down. So this is like we're hugging a tree. Just about clasp your fingers together, let the chin drop. Feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. Wonderful. And holding on to something again if you feel you need to. Stand tall. Pull the heel towards your buttock, keeping the knees together. And if you can't grab your foot, hook it over a piece of furniture, a chair, bend the other leg, or a sofa if it's not as tall as this would be. And bend the supporting leg and pull a bit deeper. Brilliant. Other side. So in my classes, I love to do a standing warm-up, a good lengthy standing warm-up. We do lots of standing Pilates, especially in the hour session, because in everyday life, we're not lying on the floor for an hour or for half an hour. It's functional. So fitness Pilates is all about functional. So let's just do some twists round. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just take a big step and twist round, leaning forward a little bit and feeling a stretch in this front leg. Twist round. On the diagonal. Good, leaning forward, nice and tall. And another big stretch. Lovely, now I'm going to teach you and show you a roll down and we're going to build on it. Again, something I do in my classes, I get people up and down several times and sometimes they moan, but how important is that in life to be able to get up and down off the mat? So we'll start with the roll down and I'll build on it. Taking a breath. And just watch this one if you're not familiar. As you exhale, Let the chin drop to the chest. Let your shoulders go. Bend your knees if you're a little stiff at the back of the body. And start rolling forward like a floppy rag doll. Release the shoulders again. Let the chin drop. You should be looking at your knees. And then brace your core. Pinch your pelvic floor to come back up. So reminding you never to feel pain in your lower back. If you felt that, you could do a half roll down like this instead. To the knees with the hands and brace and come up. Yeah, and then in a moment when I get onto the mat, you can literally bend down and get onto the mat that way. Okay, let's do this. So taking a breath. As I exhale, roll down, let it all go. Bend the knees if you need to and brace your core. Pinch your pelvic floor to roll up. Using the core like a puppet on a string as I come up. Arms up to the ceiling and a big stretch round. This time, I'm going to take it into a dog stretch. So roll down and listen to the instructions. You should get it. Roll down. You're more floppy and flexible now, but bend the knees if you need to place your hands on the mat and walk them forward into a nice V shape dog stretch. Now, I'm sure you've seen this before, even if you haven't tried it. From there, push back on your arms so you feel the stretch between the shoulder blades and bend one knee, then the other, making sure your elbows are soft. And what I mean by that is don't push your elbows forward or towards the middle. Soften them a bit so you're not straining your joints. So with me bending one knee, then the other, I'm really feeling a wonderful stretch in the posterior chain. And that is the area most people are stiff in. Wonderful. Bend your knees if you need to and walk your hands back to your feet. When you get there, drop the head, brace your core. Let the shoulders feel relaxed. Keep the chin down and roll up. Lots of instructions there, I know. Okay, we are going to go down and stay down this time. Take a breath. And as you exhale, roll down. Let it go. You've done 3 or 2 now. With each of these, you're going to feel more flexible. Walk your hands forward when you need to, bending the legs, and go into your dog stretch again. Push back. Let the chin drop. Soft elbows and bend one knee, then the other. Just adjusting your position if you need to, if it's not feeling great. Now onto your knees. And people with sore knees really do find a benefit. Grabbing a cushion from the sitting room or the bed and popping it under. Quite a thick cushion even, really does help people. So I'm in neutral now on all fours, and that is to have my hands under my shoulders, but not too close to the body. So don't shorten your body. Check your hands are under shoulders. Then we're going to hollow. And weaker backs and postnatal, anti-postnatal, don't hollow too far at all. And then arch up with soft elbows again. Arch the spine up to the ceiling and hollow. And arch up. Fabulous. And then find the middle of those 2 extremes, which is your neutral. So hold in the middle. Now from here, brace your core in, suck it in towards the spine and lift one arm and the opposite leg. Place it down and then lift the other. This is the single best exercise for people with weak backs. Now if you're a beginner and you're wobbling about, just lift the hand and hand and knee just slightly off the mat and lower. You don't need to go straight leg, because there is a danger of you arching your back. So brace the core as you lift. Lovely. Exhaling as you lift and bracing that core in at the same time. Imagine you've got a cup of boiling tea balancing on your back. You don't want it falling off. So people that are rocking about, slow this down. Brace your core harder towards the spine as you lift. And when you lift, make sure you're not letting your back arch. So there's a limit to how far to lift. Let me show you a bad one quickly. Ready? Here comes a bad one. Can you see I'm lifting? The face should stay parallel with the mat. So you're looking at the mat. Don't look up. I know obviously you're looking at the screen a little. Let's do 5 more of those. I'm showing you lots of these because they really are the single best exercise that you could do every day for 5 minutes and feel your back strengthen up. Brace the core in as you lift. You're not rocking left to right, your elbow is soft. Lovely. And from there, we're going to widen the knees ever so slightly and sit back on your heels. So sit back as far as you can. And beginners might struggle to sit right back. That's tight knees, tight hips. That will all come. From here, you could straighten your arms, or you could keep them bent. You decide for yourself. Somewhere in the middle, and wriggle left to right, just with the hips and legs and buttocks. Keep the torso still and the head still. Fabulous. And back onto all fours. Something I do love, and it's going to definitely one of my signature moves is a thread the needle. There's so many classics. There's no way I could fit them all in today. No way, but I'm going to face you. So we're still in neutral. You're going to pick up, let's all go with the same one. Pick up your left arm, bend your right elbow and thread the needle, dropping your shoulder to the floor and the back of your hand touching the floor or the mat. And then without moving your hips, brace your core in and take that left arm up towards the ceiling, not too far, and under again. Your eyes follow the hand all the way. Brace your core, don't move the hips as you come up. And don't go too far, beginners, because you could twinge around the shoulder girdle. Keep it slow. Brace your core. We'll just do 4 each side. Today, with this half an hour, is to mobilise every part of the body. Lovely. And the other side. You got it? So you're going to now take the right arm, bend the left as you put the back of the right hand on the floor underneath, and then up it goes. Don't move your hips. Imagine that cup of tea is now balancing on the base of your spine, right near the buttocks. Don't swing your hips round as you come up. Fabulous. Inhale under, exhale up. One more of those. Never pushing too far on the way up. Lovely. So many exercises. But we are going to lie on our back now for the last 10 minutes. Fabulous. So we've got prone face down exercises as well in Pilates, but that one on all fours, the Superman, totally covers it and gives you the less chance of injuring your back. So I like to demonstrate that in this short time. Brilliant, we're going to get into neutral on our backs now. So neutral on your back is not with your pelvis or your lower back imprinted into the mat, it's with a little gap. So what you do is you flatten out, you do this tilting again like we did at the beginning, standing. Tilt your lower back into the mat, twist it the other way, tilt, twist, and then find the middle of those two extremes. So you should feel that there's a little gap, your spine is slightly arched underneath you, your pelvis is flat. So if you were to draw a diamond shape here and put it on the pubic bone and glanced up, it would be flat. Wonderful. Right, arms out to the side. We are going to perform a knee roll. Anti-postnatal, just drop your knees halfway, because remember when I was standing, we're not twisting. So you can do a little half, but don't drop your hips all the way, or your knees all the way, should I say. So we are twisting the head the other direction and brace the core, pinch the pelvic floor to return. Then the other way, brace the core, pinch the pelvic floor to return. Lovely. So instead of flinging the knees left to right, you're going to really brace in. Take your time as you move across. Excellent. How's that feeling? Really nice. The first two exercises I'm going to show you, this one and the next, are called ab prep for a reason. They're the best ones to do before we do any more core work in this position. Lovely. Let's get back to the centre and put our arms down by our side. Feet are just forward of under knees and they're hip width apart. Spread your toes. We are now going to lose neutral by imprinting the lower back into the mat. So imprint it into the mat and then return to neutral. So some lovely pelvic tilts. From there, you're going to pinch the pelvic floor and roll halfway up your back and then back down again. So we're articulating the spine off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then pushing the spine back down into the mat to return vertebrae by vertebrae. Loosening up between your vertebrae, all the way up and down. So all the way up is onto the shoulder blades, but you make sure you keep your core braced in. So don't go up and then blow the tummy out. Keep it braced in and down you go. So it's like Velcro peeling off the floor. Exhale on the way up, muscles go in. Exhale on the way down. How's that feeling? Oh, so nice. It's like a self-massage, that one. Fabulous. Cuddle the knees. Pull the knees into the chest and draw a circle. So I'm showing the basic exercises here, basic entry level, but regularly in my class, well, every time in my classes, we build on each exercise, completely build on it. So we start with the basic and then add layers for the stronger participants to take on. Make sequences out of them and do all sorts of fun things with these Pilates exercises. Excellent. Right, showing you a classic bicycle or cycling exercise. I'm taking one leg up off the mat and drawing a circle with it. Cycling. So let's all do that. If you're familiar, take two off. Let's get going straight away. Beginners, weaker backs, please don't do that. Anti-postnatal, if you're newly anti-postnatal, I would go with one leg. But if you're familiar, off you go. You can do two legs. The main thing to think about here is not letting your neutral alter. So I haven't got my lower back onto the mat, I'm in neutral and I'm not letting the core pop out. Making it harder, you could take arms up to the ceiling, and these are the sort of additions I make. You could have arms moving overhead, backwards and forwards, and there's so many add-ons to each exercise. But some of you keep it simple, and simple is best. So swap legs if you've got one moving. You will get stronger by doing your level. Don't think that the people doing more are getting stronger than you. You're strengthening up at your rate. If you do too much, you're going to injure yourself, and you'll go off and be one of those people that says, oh no, I can't do Pilates, it hurts my back. That is because you've overdone it, whether it be the teacher's allowed you to overdo it or you've not listened to the teacher. That is very difficult, that is, I have to say. I've often said, I'm going to throw you out of my class if you don't do what I'm telling you, because you're going to hurt yourself. I'm only joking when I say that, by the way. We have a laugh about that. But it's true, it's very difficult, that one, because human nature, you want to do two legs. It looks easy, right? But you're going to arch your back if you're not trained in core work. Okay, looking at the time, absolutely flying as always. Let's do a leg scissor. So the classic scissor would be to be crunching and switching 2 legs. But if I take it right back down to beginners, we're going to move 1 leg without letting the torso move. Okay, you could crunch up and do it. Anti-postnatal, stay down because you're not allowed to crunch. So you can do as much core work as you like, anti-postnatal, but no abdominal work. So where I'm crunching, that's working my abs. We connect, keep your head down as well. And as my leg lowers, I am bracing the core so that my back doesn't arch. Swap legs. So some of you are doing this classic with 2 legs, keeping the torso still as the legs move, and others are doing the beginner's version, possibly with head down for weaker X or anti-postnatal. Always an option. I have most multi-level classes. I don't single people out because I don't like that because you could progress too quickly from a beginner and then where do you go? So multi-level classes, but getting your level right is absolutely essential before moving on. Fantastic. If I'm going to stick to the 30 minutes, we're going to have to call it a day. So let's do another cudgel and a stretch of 1 leg. Pull 1 leg into the chest. Brilliant. Time flies, always. Now let go of the opposite hand and let your knee drop out to the side. Fabulous. Without popping tummy out, of course, brace your core in. And then we're going to switch hands and twist. Anti-postnatal, you're going to just twist a teeny bit so you feel that nice stretch around the outside of the leg. And here, others as much as you like. Never go crazy. Just feel the stretch and the twist in your spine. Look the other way. And then the other leg. And then to finish, we're going to stand up. So pull your knee into the chest. We've got other positions in Pilates. You're on your side. That's another one. We sit up and do exercises. But it's impossible to go through the whole of that. Let the knee drop out to the side. Switch hands and twist. Arms out to the side, arm out. Lovely. Anti-postnatal, sit up by rolling on your side. Others can sit up however they like. Are you ready to stand up? If you're the sort that thinks you might be dizzy when you get up, or you've not had breakfast or something like that, please hold on to something and come up safely. You really must make sure you're not dizzy. But if you're good to go, tuck your toes under, brace the core in and lift back into that dog stretch. Let your head drop, soft elbows. Bend one knee, then the other for a further deep stretch in the posterior chain, particularly the calves, love it. And then if you need to, bend your knees. If you need to walk your hands back to your feet, dangle the head, release the arms and shoulders and use your core by sucking it in to pull yourself up again like a puppet on a string until you are standing tall. Oh, see, even after teaching it for 14 years, I always feel taller and straighter at the end. It's a lovely feel. And I remember that first day I did my first course. I don't think I'd even done Pilates till I did the course, I hadn't. I stood up and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel tall and amazing, just open. Anyway, a big stretch up, bend your knees down, brace to come up. Bend your knees down, brace to come up. One more to finish. Excellent, really good. I hope you enjoyed that. That was, like I said, pretty much my signature 30 minutes. If someone said do 30 minutes introductory fitness Pilates class, that would be it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel good from it, and I hope you want to take it up. If you want to take it up with me, Like I said, face-to-face, online, presentations, however you want it. Get in touch and have a fabulous day. Take care. Lovely, lovely.